Mission Pro Wrestling, the symbol of excellence in women's sports entertainment.
It's Thursday, and you know what that means, Mission Pro family. It is time for your Mission Pro Spotlight. I am Myndrunner, and this evening, I'm going into business for myself. Well, actually, it's just me running solo. Dora the Explorer is busy exploring. She is on a secret mission, and unfortunately, as it happens in February with all the snow, we got 10 inches of snow where I'm at, my exclusive wrestling bunker. Angel Marie, the most lethal woman with a kendo stick, fell to the one weakness that she cannot beat into submission, and that is this nasty bug that's going around. So at the last minute, she unfortunately can't join us. She is not feeling well. So Angel Marie, our hearts and thoughts and good health vibes are coming your way. Or as Pepe Poteet would say, stay hydrated, my friends. But that doesn't mean that the news in women's wrestling stops because of any kind of hiccup like that. It must be reported. We must cast that bright, positive spotlight on all of women's wrestling and address everything that's going on. And we've got to fight those dirt sheet rats and make sure that the truth gets out there, no matter how controversial that may be. So without further ado, let's get to the week in women's wrestling news. All right, it has been the week in wrestling, and what a week it has been. All kinds of cool stuff coming up there. By the way, great to see Burnsy in the chat. Great to see Pepe. It's cold. Texas decided to be winter. I know that's crazy. Even San Antonio is colder than a Brit's tit, if you will. I guess that's what I'll have to say. I don't know where I got that from. Anyways, there's so much wrestling news going on, so much awesome stuff, and Mission Pro Wrestling is continuing to show up everywhere. Not only is our Mission Pro champion Izzy out there having a ball, but our Mission Pro tag team champions, Fire and Fury, are continuing to leave a wake of victims behind them as they plow through the indie scene, preparing for our inevitable return, of course, for Mission Pro. Well, let's get to it first. We'll cover all of women's wrestling, all of the high marks and low marks, and let's talk about congratulations in AEW, the women's wrestling champion, your new and four-time women's wrestling champion, Toni Storm, timeless Toni Storm. Those of you that were able to catch Grand Slam this past weekend, you were able to see that the timeless one, the whore you adore, was able to knock the tits off of Mariah May. This, just to tell you about this, was tremendous. This was one of the best matches of the night. And it was supposed to be just a regular collision, but it had such a great crowd. The Brisbane audience, there were hometown favorites were behind everybody. Although it was strange to see that out of all of the matches, every match had at least one representative from Australia, and yet this was the only match where the hometown favorite was able to win. But what a match, what a great moment. You got this, Luther was at ringside, and all kudos to both talents. This is the Toni Storm that we want. This is the Toni Storm that we needed. And I know a lot of people trying to make sense of her pretending to be the rookie. We all felt it. The pundits in the IWC, they were all, scratching their heads. But hey, sometimes you just got to go with a good thing. It was great to see her back. And of course, last night on Dynamite, we got to see the return of the champion, issuing an open challenge to all comers, including that Wendy Richter, who's been ducking her ever since she opened that first challenge over a year ago. Wendy Richter, what a coward. My childhood is being turned upside down. I thought you would have jumped at the chance to answer this call. However, it was a glorious, glorious celebration. Kudos to Mariah May, who's probably going to take a little time off. But I got to tell you, both ladies looked fantastic in this match. Everything was great. Not to mention, my other favorite match of the night was the Harley Cameron versus the former Sasha Banks, Mercedes Moné. That was fantastic too. The Puppet of Death made a appearance in the match, but unfortunately Harley could not get the win. And Mercedes seems to be now taking on Momo Watanabe at Revolution. Momo, of course, won the Dynasty Cup for the women's division. So I think that's what's coming up next. Of course, yeah, Feel the Wrath. Yeah, definitely. Let's do a Feel the Wrath while we're waiting, just to make sure we all. Feel the Wrath! That is a star that's rising big time. I agree. Everyone should feel the wrath. Let me know in the comments in the chat, though. Who do you think is next for Toni Storm? What do you think about Mercedes Moné? Is she improving? Is she showing up now? Why she's worth all those dollars? Ever, and what do you think's next for Harley Cameron? Who's going to feel the wrath next? I got to tell you, it's the sky's the limit for all of those talents. We're going to see what happens there. Let's shift a little bit. Fightful Select, stirring the pot again a little bit. Reports from Fightful Select says they've spoken. And when you say Fightful Select, when they say I have spoken, let's be honest. We know who they're talking about. This is our SRS, Sean Ross Sapp, no crap, just Sapp, whatever. I don't know. The guy still got me blocked on Twitter for some stupid reason. But anyways, here we go. Hey, good to see Vox in the chat, by the way. Good to see you. And, of course, Miss Courtney, the Queen Heel, still under the weather. I hope you feel that. Everybody seems to be getting sick. But we'll let Pepe tell everybody what you need to do to try to stay off the sickness as much as possible. Stay hydrated, my friends. That is what Pepe would say. Still under the weather. Hope you feel better, Courtney. Vox, great to see you. Vox Weya, great to have you with us in the fam. And, of course, a little celebration there, too. But, yeah, apparently Fightful Select, talking a little bit about, spoken to plenty of women in WWE who are frustrated with the booking of the women. They want things put on a more even plane in the women's division. I have some thoughts on this, and let me know your thoughts on there, because I don't know. I think that they're heading in the right direction. I know that there might be some frustrations at the main roster, but I feel like they're about to get a complete overhaul and game changer. Now, granted, we lost B. Priestley, Blair Davenport herself. We've lost Sonya Deville. Those are two talents I think would be great in either TNA or AEW. I think that would be great to see. Isla Dawn, I hope, I think she could go to TNA. But we are about to get, yes, Vox Waya said it, we are going to get Roxy. Raw is Roxy. Raw is Rox. And as we will talk about in just a moment, we now know the final member of the Elimination Chamber is our own Roxy, a.k.a. Roxanne Perez. But if you are family, you know she's Roxy. She is now a main roster, and she's killing it. She's going to be killing it there. It adds so many new dynamics for matches. Let me know what feuds you'd like to see Roxy jump into, and what do you think's going to happen at Elimination Chamber. We're going to talk about that in just a moment. I'd love to hear your take on that. And we'll talk about that in a second. There are others from NXT that are jumping to the main roster. So I think the women's division in WWE is about to get filled. There's going to be a lot of new blood, a lot of new feuds. I think we're finally done with the Liv Morgan, Rhea Ripley feud. Thank goodness. And maybe some more victims for Nia Jax to powerbomb, what have you. So I think I thought this was a strange report to go out today, because I think there's a lot going on in the WWE Women's Division that's going to be killer, including, we'll talk about that in a little bit, including some things going on with the tag division that we'll talk about momentarily. But let's talk about NXT, the source of the women's division. All this new blood came from NXT, as we are getting new NXT members. NXT Vengeance was over the weekend, and we have a new North American champion, Stephanie Vaquer. I thought it was Vaquer, but I've heard it both ways. And Julia Gulia is your NXT champion. Celebrating at the end. The credits are coming up. Everybody thought everything was going to be all, here we go. And then Big Mama Pump, the Juggernaut, arrives at NXT. She is now officially on the NXT roster. Jordan Grace, the Juggernaut. I'm super stoked. When this happened, this is going to be insane. Super excited. Let's see here. Oh, by the way, Angel Marie in the chat. Yep. She's definitely, wants to pop in and say hello. She's doing that. Let me know if Tio Frio uses too much slang. She'll lay the smack down on that. All right, Courtney says Cora Jade join main roster next year. I do agree. I think that Cora Jade's needs some time in NXT. I think there's some definite feuds that she can go into. Woohoo, new feud. Super excited about that. Metaphor to the main roster would be nice too. Exactly. It's wrestling. It's wrestling. You get, if you're a wrestling fan, I think you can transcend companies. You don't have to be stuck in a pigeonhole. I think the time also, the sad thing is it's the troll fans. And we're going to talk a little bit about those dirt sheet rats. They make things so negative. There's so much negativity. And that's why we focus on positivity here at Mission Pro Spotlight. If you're a wrestling fan, you're a wrestling fan. We follow the Simon Miller Dynamite Download philosophy of positivity. You're a fan. We just love wrestling. In honor of Trey D, you love wrestling. I love wrestling. We love wrestling. That's what we want to follow. So anyways, yeah, let's like this idea. Roxy, I think there's definitely going to be a Roxy Bailey feud. I think that's going to be great. I want to see, Vox, you tell me, I want to see Lash Legend versus Rhea Ripley in some form. I'd like to see what about this? Metaphor versus Nia Jax and Tiffany Stratton. There's a lot of things we can do about that. We can talk in as we go. But again, Roxy was able to be the final member rounding out the Elimination Chamber. Check out this Elimination Chamber now. It's official. Liv Morgan, the returning Alexa Bliss. You got Bianca Belair and Naomi. That's going to be interesting. Both of them in the Elimination Chamber. Will there be a team up, or will there be some friction between those two? We'll have to see. Bailey, of course, is going to be there. And our girl, Roxy, is going to be in there as well. Super excited to see where this goes. And I don't know if this is official or not, but you had Naomi and Bianca going after Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez because allegedly they were the ones involved in Jade's attack. I'm not entirely convinced. There used to be a time where video evidence is video evidence, but we live in a time of AI. We live in, things can be questioned. It's all circumstantial. I think this is going to be another one of those things where it's going to end up being Rikishi in the limo for some reason. I don't know. We'll have to see, but I'm excited. Let us know what matchups you are excited to see and going forward. We do also have something something sad. We don't have an Izzy report today, but instead we have the Cali report. All right, it was a interesting week for our girl, the La Chica Más Pecosa. Calientita had a troubling week this week where she lost one of her babies. She is still hanging on to that RCW title, but she lost the hybrid title, and she was not once but twice a participant in the RCW Rumble battle. But she re-entered the match at number 19 with the as a special luchador, La Chica Más Pecosa. If you get a chance, you gotta go check out the RCW Rumble Royale on Title Match Network. I don't want to spoil anything else. All I gotta say is the women's battle royal was incredible. There were a lot of great moments. There were a lot of the reveal of the identity of the La Chica Más Pecosa was something out of Scooby-Doo. Quite entertaining. Also, you got to see the devastation of Fire and Fury. The good old mask double entry. And it's so funny too, because it's totally Callie. Like you see the whole time, like she's not in for long. She comes in and she's doing Callie's moves. You're like, that's totally her. And she's wearing a hybrid School of Wrestling hoodie. It's like the announcers, everybody's like, yeah, I don't think she almost did the kiss and put out on her ass, and she stopped herself and did some kind of lucha thing. And Alejandro Leon was able to reveal that it was not Old Man Baxter at the Funhouse. No, instead it was Callie herself revealed as the second lucha. Of course, she was eliminated. Great. I don't want to spoil anything for you, but please check that out. Do yourself a favor. Check it out. But a moment of silence, though, because Callie has lost one of her bebes. She has lost. She is now a one-belt champion. And it does look like that she's going to be, it's going to be her and Alejandra perhaps for the RCW title. We'll have to see what happens there, but keep it posted there. A lot of great matches, as I said. Also, we talked about Tony Storm. We talked about a lot of things going on. But I got to tell you, we got to go to our banger of the week. And our banger of the week, and it's one of those things where arguably the best, most brutal match in all of women's wrestling happened last night. And then afterwards, perhaps the most controversial moment in all of wrestling happened, or at least in the last week. Let's be detectives together and let's discuss the banger of the week and the interesting, the head-scratching aftermath.
Hold on to your Kulos Mission Pro fans. Lock on, it's the banger of the week.
Banger of the week is two powerhouses going head to head. A lot of us were surprised that this was booked this early, but the mega sis herself, Megan Bayne, is continuing to make her presence known in AEW. We made the comment before at the Women's Casino Battle Royal, it was the Casino Gauntlet. I keep calling it Battle Royal, but it was a gauntlet. There's a big difference, I know. When she entered the ring, everybody could see she made Chris Statlander look like a cruiserweight. So a lot of people have been itching for this battle of the female beast. It's the female equivalent of Meat, perhaps. The female equivalent of meat. I think that's what we have here. So this is what we end up having. Oh, before we continue, do we have a special guest here jumping in here before we get going? Let's see here. Hey.
Hey,
How
is this
you?
working?
It's working. How you doing?
All right. I'm doing okay. I'm holding up over here. I'm a little busy, so I'm currently in the car right now. So I just felt
All right.
like popping on for a minute.
Well, I appreciate you popping on. Did you want to add before we jump into the banger of the week? Did you want to go back and talk a little bit about Cali, or do you want to talk about the banger from last night and the aftermath?
I guess I'll go ahead and just talk about Cali real quick.
Okay, we'll bring it back up. Of course, we have a tale of this is pretty much how Cali's weekend has gone, or her last week. The hilarious reveal of who La Chica Más Picosa was, the luchadora at the Rumble battle, the Rumble Royale. But let's talk about we here at Mission Pro Spotlight. There are a lot of single moms out there that are struggling, and nothing is more terrible than when you lose one of your babies. And unfortunately, as you can see, Callie is heartbroken. She lost one of her babies. You were present at this thing. Tell us a little bit more about that. And is Callie okay?
Well, yeah, I was, like you said, I was present. I was front row. And it was kind of a shocker to me. I'm not going to lie. I thought Callie was going to retain, but so she did face Key Vibes at Hybrid Heartbreakers 3. And obviously she unsuccessfully defended, her Hybrid Women's Championship. Yeah. And I think she's okay. I don't know. She's definitely, she's definitely heartbroken. For sure. But she's La Chica Más Picosa. She's gonna come back better than ever. And she also didn't have that great of a night at RCW segmenting into that. She got eliminated, and then La Chica Más Picosa comes out, a masked luchadora. It ends up being Cali. And she didn't have the best night. But what was really cool about the Rumble Royale was that there was actually some Mission Pro talent in there too. Mm-hmm. So I know there was like Kaya Dream, and we just had her on the show last week, so I thought that was so amazing. Yep. And then there was also the tag champs, Fire and Fury, Morgan and Nova. And so I was popping. I was so happy that they were there. And I believe Shay was there too.
And it's funny how Shay Carmichael magically her hair grew back from from her match where she had her hair styled like Toni Storm, and then suddenly her hair was back. Tell us about Fire and Fury. I mean, seemed to be working well together. I mean, I don't want to spoil anybody that hasn't seen it. They got to go to Title Match Network and check it out. But they seem to be just working great. They seem to really enjoy entering battle royals together and then working as a team to destroy everybody.
Oh, for sure. I mean, of course, they're a tag team. Of course, they're going to want to do that. If you have a tag partner, you're always going to want them by your side. So then you can have a little advantage. You know what I mean? I love sticking with you. We're a tag team over here. So
that's right. T.O. Frio.
Yes. Oh my goodness. But yeah. So yes, the Slay Squad. Oh my goodness. Slay. But yeah, they honestly, Morgan and Nova are just such an unstoppable force. It's absolutely insane. Like we said, I'm not gonna spoil who won. If you haven't watched it, go watch the replay. It's on Title Match Network. And honestly, it's one to watch. It was really amazing, and there was so much action. I believe we didn't get a little spoiler. I believe we didn't get the first elimination until about like 7 women were in the ring. Yeah, so it was insanity in there. But yeah, go watch it if you have Title Match. I mean, yes, we are women. We are spotlighting women's wrestling. but also the men's was also really good, and all the other matches on the card. So I mean, just
Yeah.
go watch RCW. Honestly, just go
gotta
watch
check
the
it
whole show. You won't be
Yeah,
disappointed.
you
It was
can
amazing.
watch the men's matches too if you want, but
Yeah.
why? But why? Just watch the women's matches. It's Title Match Network. You know what? Watch all the matches, because it gives them credit there, and it helps all divisions. We want to lift everybody up in wrestling, of course. But yeah,
Exactly.
not a good week for Callie. Do you
Unfortunately.
think it's Cat now hybrid? Of course, one of the things that gave La Chica Maspicosa away was she came in with the luchador mask, but also wearing a hybrid School of Wrestling hoodie.
Yes.
Who was that? Who was that mask girl? Would have been funny if it was Izzy instead, but
It would have been funny if it was me, because it was definitely me.
Oh yeah, well that's still. But rumor has it that that there's a title belt that's in your possession. I hear.
Oh yeah. So actually it was a fun story. Shout out to John. He's amazing. We became friends like I want to say a little under a year ago. He had drew a caricature of me, and I know for all you that have been to Mission Pro shows, I don't know if you've ever seen him, but he is the one that draws like these like really beautiful caricatures for the wrestlers, and it was so incredible to see. And so obviously I followed him, he followed me back, and then he drew me. And so, we've kind of been friends ever since. I was friends. It was me, my mom, and him, and we were all friends. And so, we were sitting next to each other at the show, and so he told me that he was going to give me little copies of this comic that he made for Ladybird and also the Black Swan. They are freaking amazing, by the way.
Sweet.
They are so freaking detailed. I'm like, oh my goodness, I love it. But so he's like standing there, and he gives me that, and then he was like, oh yeah, and this is for you. And he just hands me a replica of the RCW championship. It was so random. I was like, oh, okay. I guess I have a replica of the RCW championship now. I was like, that's so random,
tremendous.
but like obviously I'm so thankful for that.
So cool.
But it's crazy. It is crazy.
Cool. Well, next week when you've got to have that on your shoulder, so we have that as part of the show.
I'll bring it next show. I'm in the car, so I don't have it on me, but I will show it off next show.
Absolutely. As far as for Callie, what do you think? Do you think she can declare a rubber match with Key Vibes, or do you think Key has got her sights set on another opponent?
Ooh, I don't know. I mean, Key is a part of Dead Man's Hand, and Dead Man's Hand is on top. Dead Man's Hand, we up. You know what I mean? But I would say probably Key's gonna find a new opponent. Maybe down the line they will have a rubber match. They probably will down the line have a rubber match. But as for Key's next opponent, I am not too sure who it's gonna be. I mean, there's a lot of great talent down in Hybrid, but it might be someone in Hybrid. It might be someone outside of Hybrid. Hell, it might be Callie. I could be wrong. Honestly, I don't know. I'm just excited to see her first title defense because Key is absolutely amazing.
Yes, she is. We're looking forward to seeing Key come back in Mission Pro when Mission Pro makes its epic return.
Yes.
All kinds of cool stuff, and you never know where we're going to see Callie and Tita again. Now she can maybe focus on defending her other championship, but who knows what's going to happen with that? The RCW championship is, that a lot of people clawing for it. What do you think is going to happen there?
Whew, man, I don't know. I mean, it like with the whole situation with Key, anyone could challenge Callie for the RCW Women's Championship. So I don't know what's next for Callie, but I know she'll eventually get her baby back, and
baby back. Get her baby back, baby back.
Get her baby, whatever.
Callie's baby back belt.
Oh my goodness! Oh, that's crazy. But no, even without the Hybrid Women's Championship, she still has the RCW title, and she's awesome. So, I mean, either way, it's a win-win, right? I mean, it's La Chica Más Picosa. Come on.
Now, Now, I don't want to give away too much of the business. I don't want to ruin the business here, but is it possible that someone who now has a replica RCW belt could we actually see La Chica Maspacosa, the Luchadora, and Callie in the ring at the same time if someone else put the mask on and the hoodie and entered the ring and stood next side by side with Callie? I mean,
you know, technically, anything is possible.
you know the old Spider-Man meme where they're both pointing at each other?
Yes.
Wouldn't that be something if Callie's challenger is La Chica Maspacosa?
Oh my goodness, it would be absolutely insane.
I think that would be.
That'd be pretty cool.
I think that would be tremendous.
It'd be pretty cool if someone like around the same height as her, would just go put on that luchadora mask and get the jacket on,
The giveaway is going to be when that luchadora grabs a kendo stick flag and uses that on her. Yeah, and then says slay.
Slay! Oh goodness.
Vox is with it. Vox says, I'd love to see that. That was pretty awesome. The chat is with it. So again, we don't want to reveal the business too much, but who knows? Next RCW, Calientita's challenger is going to be La Chica Maspacosa, the Luchadora. What a shocker that would be. Book it. We want to book it here. You want to stay with me when we're talking about banger of the week?
All right, I will.
I want to talk about the match first. Because the dirt sheet rats are crying in their Wheaties about the aftermath, and I have inside information a lot of times, but really more so, this is more my unprofessional take. But I had a different vibe of the aftermath than a lot. I saw something. I understand it was a little different, but I took a different perspective on the aftermath, the ending. But let's talk about this match first, because Megan Bain has been booked as this juggernaut here, and I remember distinctly at the Casino Gauntlet how she dwarfed Chris Statlander. She made Chris Statlander look like a cruiserweight. Yeah, and that was the thing. Was this a match you were anticipating?
I was anticipating Megan Bain because I heard a lot about her. I heard a lot of positive things about Megan, and obviously I love Chris Statlander, so I definitely was anticipating this match. I did not get to catch too much of it, unfortunately, but from what I did see from it, it was a great match. And the aftermath, there is controversy with the aftermath, but like you said, I
focus on the match, though. Yeah. We focus on the match itself. Yeah, exactly. Go ahead.
Yes. No. I was gonna say just like you get the point as to why what happened afterwards happened, but it's just some people are just like, so it's like, oh, okay,
exactly.
I get it.
Exactly. But and again, I don't want the controversy to take away from this match.
Definitely.
What Chris Statlander is one of those, she guaranteed good match whenever she's in. And now I couldn't always say that about her when I first saw her when she first started with AEW. Granted, when she was on the Indies, she was doing bangers left and right, but she is definitely the AEW workhorse in the women's division. She's made Mercedes Moné have great matches. Anybody she steps in the ring with, and then having these two powerhouses, just the two of them going back and forth was incredible. And I like how this wasn't booked as a squash. This was one of AEW's best going up against this new threat. And I think, and of course, it was booked that Statlander was going to win had it not been for Penelope sneaking in and causing a little bit of disruption. So we're probably going to definitely see this run back again. Definitely in the chat, though, because everybody in the chat, I guarantee, if you haven't already, it's about time that you're going to check out the aftermath. Of course, Penelope, Megan Bayne, they're beating up on Chris Statlander after an incredible match. And then I popped like a little schoolgirl, of course. And again, as much as I love Thunder's new music, it's a banger. I feel like, but it's more of a cruising down the street in my lowrider kind of vibe. When you hear Thunder's old school music, the Thunder Rosa, that's when an ass kicking's coming. Like that's when you know, like that's not Thunder coming to just be Thunder. That's Thunder bringing an ass whooping. That's like the Stone Cold glass shattering. You know, in my opinion, when you hear that. So Thunder comes out with a steel chair. She's going to protect Chris Statlander. Now, couple things I'm going to point out here. I'm just going to give you my initial reaction. Then I did a lot of reading, of course, online. I've talked to some people behind the scenes. I have a different perspective on what was supposed to happen versus what happened. However, I'm going to leave it to the fans. You know, we don't reveal too much of the business. I'll leave it to you guys to decide your take on it. Immediately, the dirt sheet rats and the IWC were losing their minds, saying, it made Thunder Rosa look like a geek. It made Thunder Rosa look terrible, blah, blah, blah. I didn't get that vibe, especially my first watching. First of all, I'm excited to see Thunder Rosa come out. And, you know, Thunder Rosa, the queen of women's death matches. I mean, let's be honest. I mean, she and Britt Baker tore it up with that first ever lights out match in Grand Slam. Thunder comes out, but the first thing I notice is Thunder's wearing gear very similar to Penelope Ford. And, you know, she comes out with this chair and she's about to hit Penelope or Megan, and she hesitates. And she's raising, but she's hesitating. I took that, and I know a lot of people felt differently, but I took that as I started looking down at Chris Statlander. I'm like, is Thunder about to turn heel? Is Thunder about to join them? Because there were a couple moments where I was like, is she about to turn and smack Chris Statlander with the chair? Because as Mission Pro family knows, heel Thunder Rosa is very, very ruthless. AEW has only seen babyface Thunder Rosa. But as the slap heard around the world, Izzy knows firsthand how ruthless heel Thunder Rosa can be. I was wondering are they teasing this? Are they hinting at it? Now, after talking to some folks, I understand that it was a little bit more of a miscommunication, and there might have been some people going into business for themselves. I don't know. There's several different takes, but my understanding as a pleb, not actually in the business, I think that they can parlay this into some very, very something interesting where Thunder, for some reason, is unable to strike Megan Bayne with that chair, and maybe she was fighting the urge to turn and beat down a weakened Chris Statlander. Angel Marie, your thoughts let's know in the chat here. Vox doesn't think we're not ready for heel Thunder Rosa. Oh, but then Vox says, wait a minute. So we're second guessing. Let's see. I think the aftermath of this would have set up a good collision matchup, not necessarily Dynamite. Rematch would work better for Dynamite. Yes. I do think we should get a Thunder Stat versus Megan and Penelope. I think that was in the plan the whole time. But after watching this and then reading a lot of the dirt sheets create everything from what was Thunder doing? Was she out of place? Did she not know what she was doing? I think Thunder knew exactly what was going on. I think Thunder knew it was supposed to happen. And I think either Penelope or Megan were out of position. And I think, and plus, I think it was a little bit different. Perhaps it was the ring. Perhaps there was a misunderstanding. But, and there is the possibility, there is the theory out there that they weren't out of position, that this was, that they were supposed to leave the ring and they decided not to make Thunder Rosa look bad. Now, that's, I don't want to give any credence to any theory, because ultimately the only people that know are the people behind the scenes there. Thunder, Megan, Penelope, and Stat, they know what was supposed to go down in TK. But I do think a couple things. One, I think going forward, there's some real compelling storytelling you can do with this. And one thing that AEW does well is they can take something and turn it into gold. So, Angel, I want to know your thoughts. So you did, I'm sure you've seen the IWC lose their mind over this. Obviously, for 2 questions for you. What are your thoughts on this incident, and where do you see this going forward?
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of speculation on what exactly happened. So, I mean, I did notice, like, as soon as, like, all the events unfolded, I was like, oh no, this is gonna, something's gonna happen.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I mean, it was probably just, I feel like, hopefully, it was just, an accidental miscommunication. Those happen, like, all the time,
Yeah.
like, we're all human. It happens. So I'm hoping that that's all it is. It was just an accidental miscommunication and something got lost, and, that's why the spot happened. But, yeah, I mean, things happen, mistakes happen. Most of them go untelevised, but then there's a lot that do get televised like this. Yeah. So let's just hope that it's just an honest mistake.
Now, one thing that's compelling, I agree. Yeah, let's hope it's just a one-off mistake. One of the things that's compelling is, I remember I was going to send you the link for you and I to discuss it last night. And I was going to send you the link. I could not find the video, was not uploaded. All of the other highlights from last night's Dynamite are uploaded to AEW. The match and the aftermath was not uploaded until later today. And then when it was uploaded, they cut off the aftermath. They only showed Penelope getting involved and then them attacking Chris Statlander. So obviously, AEW doesn't want us. They want us to memory hole this aftermath, but I think that's a mistake. I mean, especially since the IWC, it's got it all over the interwebs. I do think that they can definitely make, lemonade out of this. Whatever was supposed to happen. I still feel like the first night I could sense something was off, but I thought it was storytelling. I thought that we were about to see Thunder turn around, spin around, and drop that chair on Chris Statlander's head, and then join this faction. And imagine the boos. Can you imagine heel Thunder Rosa? I mean, she's already teased a heel turn. Thinking that, she just can't. She comes so close to winning championships now, but she just can't quite get there. And then, she needs a change. She needs to be more ruthless. She's even said that in promos. And that would have been compelling. Maybe in this tag match we got coming up, I'm sure the inevitable tag match, are we going to see Thunder Rosa turn on Chris Statlander and join this faction? It's going to be interesting. Going to be interesting to see.
Yeah.
Like I said, as much as, Thunder's are one of our favorites. I mean, we're biased a little bit, Mission Pro, but even aside, because I mean, we've been fans of, what brought us to Mission Pro is, Thunder Rosa and her crew. But I am here for a Thunder Rosa heel turn, if that's what ends up happening. But I'm also here for Thunder Rosa versus Megan Bayne in some kind of street fight. What would be amazing is if Thunder does her table spot, where she does the table ramp and then drop kicks Megan Bayne right in the head. I think that would be cool.
Oh my goodness, I love that table spot so freaking much. Yeah. I'm like, because it's so unique. Like, she running and then, oh my goodness, I love that spot, honestly. That'd be
We might-
crazy. And I don't know. I mean, I love Thunder, but I don't know how I feel about heel Thunder. But like, yes, but no, but yes. You know what I mean?
yeah. Well, you and Vox are the same. Well, we might be turning Vox around. Vox went from I hope not, and then and then wait a minute, and now I might be on board for this heel turn. And already at Pepe, everybody. See, that's the thing. We all when you put aside your love for Thunder, I mean, because we're all biased, but like a heel, knowing that it's not the real Thunder. Imagine Thunder Rosa heel. I mean, she would be ruthless. But even regardless, I think we're going to see a more brutal Thunder Rosa. And I do think that whatever's going to come out of this Megan Bayne, Penelope, this whole thing, they're going to make lemonade. That's what AEW does. They make lemonade. And I think it's incredibly funny. I almost feel like this is like AEW is they're like that kid that they're like that kid that speaks more that's talks more mature than for their age, and people forget that they're still a little kid. AEW is not even in the double digits as far as a company. They're still, this is year 6 of the year 2019 was not that long ago. We're in 2025. I mean, that's what 6 years ago. This October. That does
not feel like 6 years, though. That doesn't feel like 6 years. I feel like 2019 was like 2 years ago. Oh my goodness.
So I think there's still some growing pain. They've grown really fast and I think there's a lot that's going to happen with this. I'm excited for it. I'm here for it. And again, not to take away from the match, because the match itself is a banger. Statlander and Megan Bayne put on an incredible show. You got to go see it. And there were several spots where Stat was really looking good too. And it was one of those things where I'm like, are they going to have Stat give Megan Bayne her first L this soon? I wasn't sure, but all good stuff. Excellent stuff. And Angel Marie, thanks again for joining. That we're going to cut it short today. We've got a lot of guests down the pike coming in, but today we're giving you the news, and it's great to have my tag team partner. Hope you feel better. Hope everything goes well for you.
Thank you.
And on behalf of Angel Marie, this is Myndrunner. I will see you all later. We'll see you both. We'll see you all, Mission Pro family, next Thursday live.
Swagger down the street with your red lips and funky beat. You better hold your head up to the sky. I'm gonna roll with you till the day I die.